Hey guys, Sandy Freshy here, back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. I am outside today because I have a serious case of spring fever, and I didn't want to let a week go by without doing a video to address some of the questions that you have been leaving in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for really taking them in, sharing your experiences, and leaving comments and questions. So the question I want to address today is the question of what does it mean when you have an entirely open energy center? And this came as a result of a video I did a couple of weeks ago about defined gates on undefined energy centers. And I'll make sure that you get a link to that. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about mechanically, that video will explain what I'm talking about. So the question has come up several times, and it actually came up it came up during a live stream that I did with Fiona Wong a couple of months ago. Fiona has the wildpixel.com website. She calls herself the Human Design Goblin. She's a human design reader, and she has a defined G center, but I will leave a link to that video as well if you want to catch that discussion and catch what we had to say in that discussion about the totally open G center. So I'm going to just say in a nutshell that I don't have any totally open centers, so I'm just telling you what my clients have told me, what some of my friends have told me who are into human design and have open energy centers, and what I've seen from people that I've worked with. What I see with a totally open energy center is that there is no predictable way to process the energy that you're taking in and amplifying. So it can be very overwhelming or mystifying to the person who has that totally open center. Like those of us who have undefined centers with defined gates will often have a predictable way that we deal with or experience the theme of that energy. For instance, someone with an undefined spleen center, which is the center for vitality, fear, survival, those things, when they're taking in outside spleen energy, they have gates on the spleen, defined gates on the spleen. They will have a fixed process of dealing with those fears or filtering that energy of fear, or whatever is coming in from the outside that is affecting or activating their spleen center. So that's just one example. There is an example in the video with Fiona Wong that I really would love for you to watch if you have a totally open G center, and especially if you're struggling with it. In traditional human design, the thing that I was taught is that when you have an undefined energy center with with defined gates, then it's a place where you're filtering energy, outside energy, and you're learning how that energy is to be used and managed. When you have a totally open center, you've already gone to school. Now, I've seen in practice that that is not usually the lived case for people who have totally open centers, and it is because of the conditioning in the mind that says you've got to do something about all of that variability and inconsistency. So when you go through the deconditioning of those open centers that you have, what is probably experienced is this sense that it's not an issue. It's not even a thing that you need to deal with. Let's take the example of the undefined solar plexus, emotional solar plexus. If it's totally open and you've deconditioned that center, the emotional waves of people who have a defined center are really no longer an issue for you, if that makes sense. It's like there's nothing that you need to do about it because it's not relevant in your uh, experience. So that's the way I interpret it. That's the way that I um, kind of explain it when I do a reading. And I would love to know how you experience your totally open centers uh, in your chart, what they are, and how you experience them. And that will help to enlighten the rest of us. So, your experiences are always welcome and always valued. I will also mention and put in a link below a video to my first human design teacher, Karen Curry Parker. She coincidentally did a video on the undefined and totally open centers right after mine went up, and it was very interesting as well. And she's got a vibrant community over on her Understanding Human Design .com, understandinghumandesign.com website, and you can watch her video if you've never seen her. I can't imagine that you've never seen her, but you know, and of course she's been in this for a long, long time. So I'd love to share her video with her wisdom as well. So I'll make sure you get a link to that video in the description box. And I look forward to your comments. I'm going to just see if I can um, flip the video here so that you can see trees. Those aren't almond trees up there. Up there, they're right. Those little pink trees right there are our almond trees. We'll see if we get almonds this year. We are an Asian pear orchard. My stepdaughter planted 6 almond trees several years ago, and last year we got almonds here in East Tennessee that were too hard to crack without a vise, but they're still really delicious. So we'll see what we get this year. Just a little piece of well-being from my corner of the world. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and don't forget to like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want to be notified, and hit the bell if you want to be notified of future videos, and please share it with anyone that you feel would benefit. Thank you so much for sharing my videos, for being my followers, and for commenting and interacting. I value each and every single one of you. And until the next time, be well.